Yo,
Morning.
I don't want to surprise you thinking nobody's on.
Well, thank you.
I'm
How's it going?
well. How are you?
Good.
Do 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 do.
You all fired up, ready to give your Monday motivation today? Your mindset?
Maybe, maybe.
Oh, I was going to tell you. So I was digging into school yesterday.
Uh-huh.
I got to remember there's something else, another reason that we might need to go to the $99 a month plan.
What? Yeah. Well, what is it?
Let me look real quick and see if I can jog my memory here because I was like, okay, we can start at 99 or start at 9, which is how I set it up. What is it that it was that we couldn't do? Hold, please. My mind is on Monday. Monday time. Oh, there were some plugins we can't use. Man, we probably don't have to get there now, but we probably do sooner rather than later. Because if you look at the extra work that we're going to have to take with all the funnels and different things to work, saving $90 a month probably isn't going to save enough to offset the time someone's going to have to put into doing all those things. That's what I was thinking.
Can you give me like a brief synopsis of the plugins that are going to be manual?
So anything that we do in terms of like our funnels, our follow-up programs, all of that that spit out, I think we're going to have plugins for a lot of that. Audra has Flowdesk tied in. Like when we're following up with them, how are we doing that? So we're not just having a page that we're doing nothing with. Does that make sense? What I'm
Yeah. So you have to have a third party.
So yes, I believe we've got to have a third party to integrate all of that in
Okay.
together.
Well, I'm using Go High Level, and I'm paying for that.
Okay.
Good morning, friends.
Hey,
Good
what's up?
morning.
What's up?
You look so pretty in that color.
Oh, thanks. Thank you so
Matt,
much.
I'm sorry. You look really pretty in your gray too.
Nope. Nope. Not even necessary. I'm not here for your pity, pethy.
Pleasantries,
No,
fake
He says
pleasantries.
nope.
not here for it.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that later, but just something to dig into more. It's on the $9 a month plan. We're started. It's good. We'll kick it off there.
Cool. Well, hey, Cassie and fam.
I think we need Cassie to do a feature Friday on social media because I may have been stalking
Yes.
her over the weekend
Oh,
and she's
thanks,
kind of
Audra.
amazing.
Don't don't get me all like hyped up this morning. I'm doing kid to drop off right now, so I apologize. I'll
Joining this group, side effects may include an inflated sense of self-worth,
I love it.
the belief that you can absolutely do anything.
I love it. I'm here for it.
Tell your friends. Eight fit a nine. Wonder if the Monday delay is just because everyone's like, "Oh shoot, there's a new word."
What's the password? I know
What's the best?
I used to have everybody on the Zoom calendar list so they could just click and go in, but it became a lot of work.
Yeah. I think pretty much everyone's on the email list. They get it Sunday evening.
Yeah. They're just like, wait, what's the password? Gotta find it.
Yeah.
Once we well, I guess we're not gonna have like the free thing. I was gonna say that's the nice thing about school. Like you can have a calendar and it already has the links so they can go right to that calendar and boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
and log in, but that's only paid members. If we do it that way.
I just texted Haley, Werner, and Nevin to tell them to remind them to get on.
Oh yeah, I just talked to Haley. We chatted briefly this weekend. Did they reach out to you?
I've talked to both of them in the past week, yeah.
Nice.
So Haley and we keep in touch pretty often. I hadn't talked to Nevin in a minute, and it was
Yeah.
just kind of weird. But I reached out to him after all the things last week, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not going anywhere." I'm like, I like that. Good. So
He's so fun. I did not know what to think of
great
him
dude.
when I was on Exceeding Expectations, but then I met him in Miami last year and I just love him. He's like
Yeah, he's one of the best guys.
yeah,
Yeah,
authentic, true, like just big-hearted.
Yep. Hey, it's 9:01. Let's go. We got stuff to do. Gratitudes, wins, celebrations. What you got?
I think we should always start if someone doesn't have something, it goes with whoever jumped on last.
Oh, Brad, you're up.
Shoot.
Fine. Actually, it's a really good one. There's a lady that I've been working with. I knew her brother on the crew that I ran when I was working in theater, and she was moving from Georgia with her mom, and so we've sort of been working to find her a place, and she's finally closing on her place in Georgia on Thursday, and we got her under contract for a home here, and it pretty much is the perfect home because she's moving in with her 89-year-old mother is living with her. So there's like first floor living for her. And then she has space upstairs. And then there's space downstairs that her granddaughter can come and like spend the night with her. So like it was just really good. And like just the expressions that she's given me and the gratitude that she has shared toward me to help her through this process has actually been a really good one compared to some other recent ones that I've been doing. So I'm grateful that I can get those transactions and get the gratitude from the clients. So
That's awesome.
That.
What else? Anyone else? Gratitudes.
We are halfway installed on a new range, halfway because the plumber has to come sometime this morning and redo the gas valve. But I have a new range that works sitting in my kitchen, and I'm real excited. It's real pretty. I cannot wait to actually cook on it. It's been sitting there since Saturday, and I just stare at it. So,
You just reminded me of my gratitude for today.
oh, nice.
Yeah. So, it was homecoming weekend. Christy and I were at our Saturday day date. We went to the club, Costco, that is, for those that are following. And Anya was getting ready to go and get ready with her friends, and she calls and she goes, "Guys, my sink won't turn off." And I'm like, "What do you mean your sink won't turn off?" And she goes, "I'm pressing it all the way down, and there's still water coming out." I'm like full blast, like a trickle. And she goes, "Just turn on your video." And so we do a video call, and she shows me it's just a little trickle, and I'm like, "Okay, your drain's clear, it's going down, not a big deal." And she's like, "What do I do?" And I'm like, "Relax, nothing." And I said, "If you've got a second, go under the sink. There's two little knobs. The one on the right, just turn it to the right." And she goes, "It won't move." And I'm like, "Then don't worry about it. Just, you're fine. Go." So she leaves. I go home and I go upstairs to attempt to do the thing. And I go turn the knob and it's not moving. And so I'm like, I'm cranking on it. And I tear the handle off, and then water just starts hitting me in the face from the wall at full blast. And I'm like, ah, and I'm like, "Sophie, I need towels and a bucket." And I'm like, "Christy, go shut off the water main." And I put my thumb in there, and I'm in like the little Dutch boy, and it's like hitting me in the eyes and the face. And we get it turned off. And I'm like, cool. Didn't have plumbing on this weekend's bingo card. However, call my guy and I'm like, "Saturday, any chance you guys can?" And he's like, "Yep, my guy will be there in like 2 hours." And I'm like, "I'm going to go run, get some faucets and stuff." And so My gratitude, two things. Number one, super grateful that didn't happen to Anya when we weren't home, because that would have been something. And then second, super grateful for the relationships with the businesses that I've built, because my guy said we weren't sending anybody, but because you've done so much work with us, my guy left his dinner to come take care of you. And I'm like, I appreciate it. I'm like, I know it's going to suck, whatever. Like, it's a Saturday trip charge, like whatever it is, like, thank you. And we had our water back in 3 hours. And then I got to teach my daughters where the water shut off valve is. And it's right there. I'm staring right at it from the other side of my screen. And they now know how to do the main water shut off. And that's my job as a realtor, to educate the
You're
future
going to be in
homeowners
the
of America.
shower one day and the water's just going to cut off because this is going to be the new family prank because they now know how to shut off the water.
Oh, no, 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 no. You only shut off the cold, or you shut off the hot, and you can let it go. And you're like, why is it? They don't know that
Or
one.
you have a freezing cold shower. This is what my kids would do.
Anyway, gratitude is relationships, timing. You can never, yeah, it's good stuff. Anyone else? Last call.
I'm super pumped because I got to talk to you and Audra on Friday, and we got some big things up our sleeves coming up here soon.
What you talking about, Willis?
So fun.
Can't tell you. Well, you know, but
I'm thankful. So it's not at all work at all. Well, neither is yours. But I booked a bunch of plane tickets for stuff this weekend, and I'm just really thankful because like a lot of the stuff was unexpected things that I needed to get tickets for, and I was like, not that many years ago, I would not have been able to book all these plane tickets at one time for this many people. So I'm just really thankful for that opportunity.
Yeah. Right on. You're awesome.
You're awesome.
You're awesome. You're awesomer.
I don't know, Matt.
Go on. Go on. All right. Come on. Let's get serious. It's serious. It's Mindset Monday. Let's get super serious here. Are we recording this thing on?
yeah, it is.
All right. So I was listening to my good buddy Matt McConaughey today with Chris Williamson on the Modern Wisdom podcast. And man, anytime Matt gets on the mic, he's always dropping some nuggets. And he's just a really contemplative kind of guy. You would never know, like, there's just so much like wisdom inside the guy that's coined the all right, all right, all right. Like, it's just, he's smart. He's a good dude. And one of the things he shared today, and so I always like to listen to the podcast, and I set the intention to just be open for inspiration, to hear the thing that I need to hear today. What's the message I'm meant to receive? Like, that's my intention for any time I'm going to set, I turn my radio to receive, right? I'm open to inspiration. I'm ready to receive what I'm supposed to hear today. What is it going to be? And the thing that really popped out from today's session, and what I wanted to share on today's Mindset Monday, is we've got to change our focus on what we follow. And what do I mean by that? Is that so many of us want to follow someone's results, and we're not interested on the rise. We want to follow what they're doing today, but not what they've done to get here. I think oftentimes we've heard the phrase, comparison is the thief of joy. Oftentimes when we look at what someone's created compared to where we are, the gap just seems so insurmountable, so huge, and so ridiculous that it gets kind of discouraging. And yet, how many times when we see someone, like, I think it's like second nature to when we see somebody who's succeeding at a certain level, say, what are you doing? And like, if you really think about it, that's the wrong question, because maintenance is not the same as momentum. What it takes to keep what you have going isn't what it took to get it going. Think about how many of you have ever had to get like 10 bags of concrete at Home Depot on a flatbed? Brad's like, yep. And Brad's got a deck he's going to build here in a minute. You go to Home Depot and they give you those little flat carts, and you're thinking like, well, if I can put it on the flat cart, it should be easy to move. Like if I can put it on the cart, I should be able to handle it. And then one bag of concrete, depending on which bags you get, is either 50 pounds or 80 pounds. And you can handle one, and that one is fairly heavy. And then you put it on there and you don't think. I did this. Oh, I did this with landscaping blocks. I was building a fire pit and I got 50 blocks. And so I'm putting them on, I'm putting them on, I'm putting them on. I think each of them weighed like 30 pounds. So 50 of them was like 1,500 pounds. If the maths, I don't know. That was too quick for me to be accurate. So just go with me. Let's pretend. The energy that it takes to just get that thing to move 4 inches isn't the same amount of energy that it takes to keep it moving at that speed. And so often we look at what people have done and we ask them, what are you doing? You cannot look at a producer today that's averaging 3 to 5 transactions a month on flow and emulate their activities today, because their activities today are a result of the last 5 years or more of contribution, of energy, of deposits, of seeding, right? So often we compare the harvest and not the planting. So often we compare the maintenance and not the momentum. We compare their results after 5 years and not what they did on day 1 through day 1,572. And here's what's interesting. When we ask them, well, what did it, even if you do ask the question, we're hoping to hear an answer that makes them unique. And we glorify them. David Goggins talks about this all the time. Everyone that says, well, he's different, he's got great genetics or whatever, he goes, guys, I have sickle cell anemia. I have no cartilage in my knees. I'm not special. You keep trying to make me special to justify you not doing what you know it takes. The people that are achieving the life that you desire aren't special. You want them to say something special so you feel comfortable in the fact that you know what to do. You're not doing it consistently. When it's boring, when you don't feel like it, when you're sick, when your kids are sick, when there's family in town, when you ran out of money, like all of the reasons that we know inside, our inside is dying for somebody to say, well, genetics, well, personality, well, my whatever. And you go, ha, see, it's not typical. And they're going to say, yeah, no, my results aren't typical because my effort wasn't. Results aren't typical when your effort isn't. And that's the thing that no one wants to talk about. The consistent everyday effort. That's not typical because most people can go 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 75 days, 95 days, 66 days. There's all these challenges that have this cutoff. And if anyone's ever done one of those challenges with full integrity, is what I say. Not your version, not 75 soft, not 75 my way. If you've ever done one of those challenges to completion with integrity, you may catch yourself towards the end of it going, ooh, now what? Because this promise of this massive transformation at the end of it is looming, and you're like, man, I've created all of this momentum. Now what? And the question is, do you go on? Or do you go to the next thing, right? So what I wanted to share is the evidence around this is everywhere. And I just pulled out a couple different examples. And if you think about, so how many of you know Mr. Beast, the YouTuber, the #1 YouTuber on the planet? He says in one of his interviews, this is a while back, I quote this often. He says, like, everyone can do what I did. No one will, though. And the reality is that so many people have an opinion before they have a foundation. And he said, on this platform, you're not allowed to have an opinion on your content until you've published 200 pieces of of it, like 200 pieces of work. He goes, you don't get an opinion until you've hit 200. You don't get to critique value until you've hit a critical volume. So many of us have an opinion of value of these activities that we're doing without appropriate volume. Open houses don't work. For sale by owners don't work in my market. Expires. There's not enough expires in my market. There are no foreclosures, pre-foreclosures. They're not, the divorced people, like the assisted living. There's all, you have all of the different opportunities and sources to be able to have whatever kind of business you want. And yet so many of us insert our opinion of value before we hit volume. Now, what is that volume? I don't know. Alex Hormozy talked about there was a time where he met a guy that was doing marketing. He was doing mailers during his gym period. And he talks about this in one of his books. I think it's the $100 million offer. And he said that he was following this guy that was doing flyers. And so he went back and he printed out 500 flyers for his gym, and he went out to parking lots and he put them all over, and they went back and they had like one person called. And he went back to the guy and he's like, yeah, I did the flyer thing. And he's like, I didn't really get much out of it. And he goes, cool. How much did you do? He goes, yeah, I know I did 500. He goes, bro, we do 5,000 every day for 7 days. And I was like, ooh. And he goes, oh. He goes, I'm not even close. He goes, I had to actually, he's like, the opportunity was in the 10X. He goes, we do 5,000 a day for 7 days. We see which offer hits the most. And then we go crazy on that one. I'm like, oh, same thing with ads online. Some of you have dabbled on Facebook or Meta with ads, and you're like, not getting the results. Some of these guys, they're spending $20, $30, $50 a day, and they're split testing like 12 ads, and they're watching the metrics every day, and they're just looking for one little adjustment in one of them, and then they cancel all of them, and then they go hard on the one. And then that's where the hockey stick result happens. So comparison is a thief of joy when focused narrowly. When you look at the result, comparison is a thief of joy. However, comparison can become the mother of skill when you zoom out and focus broadly. When you look at the activities from the beginning and not where they ended up, that's where you can go. And so you go and ask, say, okay, what was the mindset shift that you needed to make whenever you started? Where was the biggest challenges and the obstacles when you started getting going? Where did you find the biggest resistance? At what point did you start to second guess yourself? And where did the limited thinking and the mindset crush start to show up before you started getting the results that you have right now? Like, what did you have to plow through? How did you have to humble yourself in the work in order to continue the work? At what point did your hustle have to outweigh your heart? The answers are there. So I want to kick it back to you guys. When's the last time you caught yourself trying to compare yourself to someone's harvest season when you weren't there when they were turning soil?
Every day.
It's so easy to be like, man, I'm so behind. I'm so this. I'm so not that. And you just go, well, if it's going to take what it takes, let me start now. What are you hearing here? What's resonating with you? What's popping out? Who wants to get honest?
I honestly have so many thoughts I don't even know where to go with first. Because
Okay.
one,
What's the one that keeps nagging your brain the most?
I'll tell you all three, and then we can go into whichever one you want.
You go.
Well, I bet I have people do it to me, like where they say, "Oh, you're so lucky that blah blah blah." Like you're so lucky that, you have like so much business. You're so lucky you got business right away when you got started. Blah, blah. That happened to me. I've also like, done it to myself as far as like, going, I guess, which I have analysis paralysis about stuff, and sometimes it's like just getting into the action of it can be really challenging. And I see other people who just like take the action, and I'm like, and I guess it's like what are they doing? Like, like, what are they doing that they're just like getting into action right away? The other thing is it's bothered me sometimes, and I'm really not a bothered person by a lot of stuff, that when I've seen people who are barely have been in business like at all, they I mean, there was an incident like with my office where there was a girl who she'd only been an agent for maybe like 3 months, and like they had her in like leadership, they had her doing like coaching stuff to people. And at first I wasn't really, because this was actually a few years ago, and like I wasn't even really at first, like didn't think that much about it, and other agents were saying stuff to me about it. And then now that especially with you making the comment, about what Mr. Beast says about, like you have to do so much stuff before you like, before you can like contribute to things. And I'm like, yeah, why was she up there like, doing coaching? And I mean, they literally started having her coach like other agents, and she'd only been in for like a couple months, and she had done 3 million in business, but 700,000 of it was selling her parents' house. So it was like, it was, but I don't know. And I think like 1 million of it was selling an investor's house. But anyway, so I don't know which one.
So, couple things. Number one, it's interesting what we are aware of. Number two, does it actually affect you? If not, it's just like, that's an interesting observation. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I think when people like compliment you, I think that's awesome. And you can just say, hey, thanks. I worked hard. And like, and say that and say, thanks. I worked hard. Nothing was given. Everything was earned. Thank you. And the harder I work, the luckier I get. That's what I love to say. Hey, the harder I work, the luckier I get. It's weird how it happens. The harder I work, luckier I seem to get. You're right. I do get a lot of opportunities. That's so weird. The harder I work, the more opportunities keep coming. They want you to say, yeah, you're right. It's just been so fun and easy. Like, I don't even want to do anything. I wake up and I get hit in the face with cash. It's so sweet. You should try it. Right. And here's the other thing. The better you get, the easier you make it look. And that's also a trap for us as well when we take a look at other people. The better somebody else is, the easier it looks. And so then we also go into thinking like, okay, Lynn, it should be no big deal to go and do this. I think oftentimes when we're on a team and we look at when we look at great leaders and great teams, they make it look really easy. And you're like, I could do that. I could really do that. But you don't see the 17 times that actually they didn't get paid when everyone else did first, or the edge of bankruptcy, or the refinances, or the HELOCs in order to keep the thing afloat and open. Like, we don't see that. We see the highlight reel. Social media is real good about the highlight reel. We don't see the shell game with the money behind the scenes. We don't see the maxing out this credit card or this cash advance to make it work and then having to pay it all back. Like, we don't get to see all that. And everyone's like, yeah, I could do that. I could do that. Do myself. You can. Are you ready to do what it takes? Because it's amazing what you can get done when you don't have an option. It really is. When there's no other plan, when you don't have a plan B, like, it's incredible what you can accomplish. I think it's just the awareness of what it takes has got to be really clear. And I think that has to go with, and I love hearing, and that's why I love documentaries. Like, I love hearing people's origin stories. I love hearing people's hero's journey. I love hearing the obstacles that they had to overcome, where they came from, all of those things. I'm fascinated by that, right? The process. Like, what's the process? And am I willing to be bored enough to succeed? Am I willing to show up? Geez, like when the days that I don't want to and the days that I physically can't. Am I willing to continue to show up even when I've got professional doctors written excuses that I don't have to? Other thoughts? What's percolating in today's Mindset Monday conversation? It's so inspirational today. I see everyone's faces. They're so like inspired.
It's one of those things where it's
Especially Cassie's. Cassie's like fired up, ready to go.
I guess maybe I should clarify. I was not bothered really by the fact that this girl was getting coaching opportunity, coaching people. What I meant is like
good.
that I didn't think you thought that was. I think what it was, it's like I really want the industry to be good, and I felt like, she was spewing all this stuff to new agents that was like total garbage. And I was like, she has no idea what she's even talking about. Like, I mean, really, they needed somebody in there who had actually seen a few seasons in the industry. So I just felt kind of bad because these agents were giving 10% of their income to this, and the girl didn't even know what she was doing. She didn't even know how to like help people kind of track things. So
yeah.
I feel like this is the conversation that no one wants to hear, but we need to hear. Like I literally got distracted and I'm journaling down notes on things that I needed to like think about and take from this. It's just one of those things where it's like I'm sure our faces are all like this because it's contemplated, right? The gut punch that you just gave us that we all still needed.
Well, that's why so when I put my intention out there is like, what do I need to hear and what do I need to receive? This is for me, and I'm just choosing to share what I went through this morning going, oh man, here we go again. And I could feel that little tingle inside. It's like time to get back into the lab. Time to lock. So it's like the Rocky, you ever watch Rocky? I think it's Rocky 4 when he's getting ready to fight the Russian. And what does he do to get ready? He goes up into the mountains with his trainers and he locks himself into a cabin in the Siberian wilderness. And he just works out day in and day out, over and over and over again in solitude with no distractions in order to prepare to fight. And the other guy is like in the limelight, taking the photos, getting all of his steroids, not doing the long game, taking the shortcuts. And then what happened? Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Rocky 4, I'm about to spoil the movie. It's 40 years old. So if you haven't seen it by now, I don't care about your feelings right now, right? Spoiler alert, he wins. Rocky wins. America beats the Russians. And it's a thing. And somebody said that like the montage in the movie was only 4 or 5 minutes long, but the reality is that season was 2 years long in his life, or something to that effect. Like it showed in the movie for 2-3 minutes, but it was like a 2-year period of time for him getting ready for that fight. And that's it. Like we see all these before and after photos online, all these testimonials, $30,000 a month, $60,000 a month, blah, blah, blah. And they don't talk about what was the grind to get there. It may be a hockey stick result, but the thing with a hockey stick is that there's a period of time where it looks like there's almost no results, but it's that input. consistency over time that then starts to compound and compounds and compounds. And then all of a sudden, 5 years later, you become an overnight success. I know we're at time. What's your biggest takeaway from today's call? Positive, negative, otherwise? What are you taking from today's call? I want to hear from you.
So, I always look for patterns. That's kind of my thing. 3 different times this weekend, I saw the quote that says, oh yeah, I'm a great overnight success, but you missed all the years of hard work. I saw another post that said, like, disappear for 6 months and then show up, like, disappear, do the work, get rid of the distractions, and show up. And then this. So I'm like, okay, maybe. And I'm like, okay, God, what are you doing to me right now? Like, I need to pay attention to this because that is, gosh, it's such an easy trap to fall in, that comparison. And I'm like, okay, I think it's just for me, like a reminder that I need to stop and I need to put my head down, just focus on what I know I need to do.
At least one more from someone I haven't heard from yet today. Stop smiling at me, Brad, if you're not going to talk, bro.
It's Cassie. I just don't have my video on. with
You're
my
good.
kids.
Cassie, what do you got? Fresh
I love
eyes,
this
fresh
call. I
ears.
am listening, I promise. I shared before last week that I built a business in network marketing for the last decade. And so I know the hard work it takes to get things off the ground. And it was just reinforcement that the stuff I'm doing now that's producing nothing is worth it.
Yeah.
And so thank you for reinforcing that, you guys, that I got to put in that hard work now and keep consistent and persistent with it. And results will come.
Yeah. This is just like then. This time is like that time. Just keep doing it. You got this. And then Cassie's going to be the next overnight success. You'll see. All right, y'all. I want to respect your time. Thank you for being here. 2 minutes over. Go have an amazing week. And then ask yourself, focus. Okay, what are the results I'm not getting by the work I'm choosing not to deploy because it just seems monotonous, boring, and repetitive? Go crush.